This awful performance in the 2025 Gold Cup leads to the question, do the Jamaican fans still have faith in Steve McLaren to take us to the World Cup? Let's find out. Welcome sports fans, welcome back to this That Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and everything sports topics, discussions and debates on the internet. Before I get into today's video, don't forget to like this one, leave a comment and subscribe to this That Sports TV. But one more thing for me, that's to share the video to at least 10 people, get to 6 subscribers, because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day? Yes people. And Jamaica is out of the 2025 staging of the Gold Cup in America. It's very disappointing, very underwhelming performances. And this video is about really a review of the competition, the Jamaican performances, and where do we go from here. Obviously, there will be a lot of collateral damage from this. The coach say a lot of things, and we're going to discuss some of that in this video. But first, before I get into the meat of the matter, which is where do we go from here? Do we still trust this coach? Let's talk a bit about the competition. So the first video that I did about the Gold Cup was, doing a preview, giving my expectations. What do I expect from these reggae boys? That video was, the whole point in that video was that I expect these reggae boys to be inconsistent. That's just the truth. I expected us to be inconsistent. I expected us to win games that we're supposed to dominate, win them by a 1-goal margin, or a barely scraping and going across the line. But the truth is, even though I had very low expectations, Jamaica still fell short of those expectations, which is weird to me. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to feeling this way when watching the reggae boys. I'm used to being disappointed in these tournaments. I'm used to having a feeling of happy with some good things, picking out the positive and picking and highlighting the positives and trying to downplay the negatives or even avoid the negatives or whatever. But the truth is, there are very little positives that can be taken from the 2025 Gold Cup performances from Jamaica. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is the fact that this was a disappointing performance. The opportunity that presented itself was that Jamaica could have used this as the perfect opportunity to prepare for World Cup qualifiers and to dominate the World Cup qualifiers, which will take place at the back end of the year. We did not take that opportunity. We did not come into this competition like we knew what we were doing. It seemed a bit rushed, it seemed a bit unprepared, and that's the first point that I'm going to start on. This Jamaican team going into 2025 Gold Cup was severely underprepared, from the coaching staff to the players. Very, very underprepared. There is no way we're supposed to be in camp for a month and be this much underprepared. It's just unacceptable. The truth is, the coach don't know his best team. The coach don't know the best players that's supposed to be playing in the position. The coach don't know the system where he want to play, or either him know the system where he want to play, but him lose confidence in him system very quick. So he's very underprepared. Him don't know him first 11, and then when the players that are supposed to be in the first 11 get injured or something happens, he doesn't know what to do next. He not a plan B. He don't know what the best player to bring on for the bench. He don't know how to switch it up. He don't know how to introduce an impact player. You get me? We are going to change the game for him. Don't know for any of that, which really surprises me, because this coach came into this job with a lot of experience, and this is something that I expected him to have and know. You expect a coach like Steve McLaren, and people may hear people say, "Oh, him is a failed coach at international level," and blah blah blah. Yes, but this man, remember people, this man, him failed at a lot of clubs that he's been at, but he also had success at some clubs. He had 20 and Middlesbrough and whatever. So he had success and he had failures. That's just the truth. So, but one thing we can't dispute that Steve McLaren has is experience. He is supposed to know how to come with a philosophy, come with a system, implement it in a team, and get the team to buy in. He's supposed to have that. And so the fact that this Gold Cup showed me that Steve McLaren doesn't necessarily have that for his Jamaican team. You've been in the job for a year now. How can you not know the way you want to play? How can you not know the players that you want to be on the pitch? Alright, you lose 2 players. How can you not know the next best 2 to play? That just don't make no sense. And just the lack of preparedness, just that licked me for 6 people. And so I am not as confident about these reggae boys to play any game against any opposition going forward because we lack preparation from the coaching staff side of things. We also lack preparation from the players side of things. Too many players getting tired. Too many players getting tired. And me I do a whole video on Liam Bailey and the fact that I don't think Liam Bailey take football serious, people. May I tell you the truth? Well, that is a little bit harsh to say. I think he takes it serious, but he not take it as serious as he's supposed to take it. Liam Bailey looks so unfit. Yes, he's trying. Yes, him I think he was one of the better players in this tournament. But I feel like the truth is Liam Bailey's underwhelming performances come from a place of what more I say now, wrong attitude towards international break. Where yes, he might fight for the team and whatever, but I don't think he approaches it like I will die for this badge. You know, I don't think he approaches it from a place of I need to be as prepared as I can be to play these games. And some people may go do a whole video on Liam Bailey. But the whole team, we are not as fit as we're supposed to be. We're not as drilled as we're supposed to be. The players don't know what they might do. I'm going to do a tactical analysis also. We don't know our first pass. We don't know our second pass. We don't know our third option. We don't know our fourth option. It just seems as if we're playing individual football. And so from a coach's perspective and from a player's perspective, we are underprepared. If even prepared at all, because we might be unprepared. I don't know what am I doing training, but I'm not seeing it now be implemented on the field, and so that is just so bad. The next thing I'm going to talk about is that we have zero style of play. So yes, we are underprepared and we are unprepared, period. But I'm not seeing a style of play. Him starting at the first game against Guatemala, using the inverted fullback that we saw in the World Cup qualifiers. Him come and him use that, and then it never worked for one game. Him blow it up. Him start go 4-4-3 flat. And just ask the players to play individual football. That's just not good enough, brother. If you have a system, stick to your system and play it out. You understand? If it fail, you know. But I wasn't as mad with the Guatemala performances, than I was with even the Guadeloupe win and the Panama loss. Because we diverted from what we came to do. If you have a plan and you're working on it, coaches, it's going to be inconsistent. Players are going to struggle with it. But if you chop and you change and you switch it up and you blah 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 because we lose one game, I got a problem. So now we're back at square one. Zero style of play. We don't know what we're doing. The players are reverting to long ball. Players struggle to transition the ball. Stick to what you want to do, and the players will get it eventually. Next thing I'm going to talk about, people, is that so many things went wrong in this Gold Cup. I'm going to reel off a list of the things that went wrong. The first thing is too many players having a bad tournament. You know, and that's just unacceptable for a Jamaican team that is supposed to be preparing to go to the World Cup and have a good performance in the group stage. I can't name 5 players that had a good tournament. I can't. That's just the truth. Andre Blake had a good tournament. Just made one mistake. I'm going to blame him for the second goal of the Panama game. I think he should have saved that. That ball went under his body, right beside him foot. Use the foot and save that ball. But outside of that, Andre Blake was outstanding for the whole tournament. Won us a game. Very rarely I gonna say a goalkeeper winning a game, but Andre Blake won us a game. That Guadeloupe game, Andre Blake won it for us. No defender had a good tournament. Not one defender had a good tournament. Midfielder, not one midfielder had a good tournament. John Russell had a decent tournament. John Russell played 2 decent games and 1 bad game. No midfielder had a good tournament. No attacker had a good tournament. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Too many players having bad tournaments. Another thing that went wrong is injuries. We got bit by injuries. We lost our best midfielder, that's Isaac Eden. We lost one of our best defenders, which is Damian Lowe. We lost another one of our best defenders in Mesa Holgate, and so we struggled with injuries, people. That's just the truth. Mikel Antonio, you still look injured, my boss. You see me? So we struggle with injuries, we struggle with availability from our players, and so that is another thing I'm going to take away from this. The team didn't get to play the way it wanted to play because of the injuries, and so the most important part of the squad was not there, which is the engine room, which is the Isaac Hayden, which is the man. I mean, I say people, Isaac Hayden will be the savior, you know, and every game Isaac Hayden play for Jamaica could just be perfect, but him being out and injured when in a crucial point like this is literally the worst time for him to get injured. We needed him in this tournament to play a full tournament for Jamaica and see how we match up against the other teams, and so we weren't afforded that opportunity, and so that is one of the things that went wrong and left us in a place where we couldn't have had the best performances. All right, so those are just some of the things that went wrong for Jamaica in the Gold Cup. The final part of this video that I'm going to, it's not going to be a very long video, people, because we have more about the Gold Cup coming. This is just a quick summation, a quick review of the tournament. I'm a bit disappointed in the people. You see the energy low, me can't bother. That is the truth. Me can't bother. But the final part of the video is, do we still trust Steve McLaren to take us to the World Cup? Do we? More I say yes, people, but the truth is, I'm on the fence right now about Steve McLaren. I see, again, people are overreact. Some people are say get rid of him. Some people are say, oh, this man I know him, I do blah 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 blah. I think it's just a matter of he's a bit confused, and the job proved to be more than we expect. CONCACAF is not an easy confederation, people. It is not. Don't make nobody tell you that. It's one of the hardest, especially with these Central American teams. They are very technical. They know how to pass the ball. They know how to keep the ball away from you, and they know how to press you. These are players that are drilled into their system. You might have better players than them, but they are drilled into their system. They play better football than you, and they're going to beat you if you're not prepared. And that is what Steve McLaren has come to realize. But I do think if Steve McLaren stick to him guns, have him system when I play, go back to where him start with in the World Cup qualifiers, try for use him tactics for out coach these coaches, then I think we have a shot at it. The truth is, people, I expected Jamaica to get 12 points from the games that we were supposed to play. Right now, if I was to make a prediction, we now get 12 points. If we're supposed to play World Cup qualifiers right now, we now play 12 points. Curacao will get a draw half of it. Trinidad will get a draw half of it. But I still have a little bit of the confidence left that Coach McLaren can turn it around. I think he's good enough of a coach to turn it around. I think the players are good enough to turn it around. And ultimately, I think when it comes to the World Cup, they're going to fight a bit harder, I think they're going to fight a bit harder because we're in an easy group. I don't care if Curacao had a decent tournament. I don't care if Trinidad looks like them want to come do something. Jamaica is just better than these teams, and Steve McLaren should be a good enough coach to turn it around. People, tournaments are unpredictable. Teams are coming and you gotta get at the team's best game every single time they're playing, and so you always get for have the best reps that you want out of a team. You see me, and so I'm not gonna use this for say, oh, get rid of the coach. I don't think we should be chopping and changing coaches. When you're in a rut, you're in a rut. Still unacceptable coach. Can't manage to have this performance. Too bad. Everything with them I say about you, warranted. But I would keep Steve McLaren, and the ultimate goal is to get to the World Cup. Now, do I trust him to get to the World Cup? I still do. But not as much as I did before going into this Gold Cup, which is a problem. This is our worst Gold Cup finish in years. And so I'm not going to stand up right and say, oh, I am confident with Steve McLaren making it to the World Cup. Super confident. I am still confident with that. Super confident? No. Not at all. Alright, people, that is a quick review of the Gold Cup from a Jamaican perspective. Underwhelming performance, unprepared for the tournament. Players didn't show up, players didn't turn up or show up. And ultimately, Jamaican fans, myself included, has lost some amount of confidence in Steve McLaren leading these Wicked Boys to the World Cup. People, hopefully we can still do it. Hopefully we can still get across the line. Hopefully these Wicked Boys can turn it around and give us good performances. But ultimately, Guatemala performance underwhelming. Guadeloupe performance underwhelming. Panama performance underwhelming. And so with that said, will we still make the World Cup? Yes. We will still make the World Cup, people. Don't overreact. Jamaica is too good of a team to not make the World Cup in a group like this. But anyways, people, quick video. Let me know on the thing. Give me an opinion. If you like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to this or that Sports TV. But one more thing for me, and that's to share the video to at least 10 people, get to 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day? But for now, this was that Sports TV. I got my gun.